here we are. You know, it feels like it's not often. It's not every day we get a TVZ in the GSL. It's, you got RagnaroK and you got Dark. And I guess there are a lot of Terrans in the GSL right now, but just not a ton. You get Solar too, but not a ton of Zergs. But this one, hopefully it's going to be good. RagnaroK, top 4 in Katowice. Can he maintain that form? That's the question we're looking at. I mean, also, we can take a look at what happened in game 1 last season and, you know, all these things. But my narrative, top 4 Katowice. Can he do it? And the answer is he can. Certainly he's beaten Byun 14 times, but this is still solidly Byun favored. And I think Elegulak would say that. I think I agree. But the fun thing about watching Byun games, the fun thing about casting Byun games, is that he plays like unlike any other Terran. You watch Clem, he's like, yep, it's a Reaper expand. I'm going to build a barracks. I'm going to get my gas. I am going to build a Reaper. I'm going to build a command center on the low ground. I'm going to get a factory, starport. It's going to be Hellion Banshee pressure. And I am going to do that. That is exactly how I'm going to play the game every single time. And you're going to, maybe there's a variation, but 9 times out of 10, that's how I'm going to play. And I guess Byun does something similar, but unlike every other Terran, he's building 2 barracks at his natural. He's building Reapers out of it. And as we get into this game, I want to talk about what Byun can do, because this is a best of 3. We're like to see multiple versions of this opener, and it's always fun to see what Byun's serious planning is. So he can go and get 3 Reapers, drop his natural, move into a factory, and effectively turn this into a 2-1-1. There's another build where he'll go and get 2 additional factories, get tech labs on both, and do a stim combat shield timing, building 6 Marines at a time, or building 4 Marines at a time. That's fun. There's another one where he actually takes a really quick 3rd base off of it and goes from there. And those are kind of the main ones. But for now, it seems like this will be the expand 2-1-1 style that Byun's going to be going for here. He stops on 3 Reapers eventually, 2 right now. 3rd one. Oh, yeah, he stopped at 2. I really thought the 3rd one was going to pop out. So for now, it's 2 Reapers. So this is just the absolute minimum amount of pressure. Is 1 Reaper? Ooh, 1 Reaper barely stays alive. But this is the minimum pressure that Byun's going to be able to put out. Even still, though, RagnaroK is, I'm not going to say he's hamstrung by it, but he's 36 out of 36 supply blocked a little bit. And there's no pro going out. Right? There is no drone going out. There's no natural on the way or 3rd base on the way. RagnaroK's economy here is just, it's stagnated. It is 3 minutes in. He's on 45 supply, and he still can't get that drone out to the 3rd base. So this is just beautiful for Byun right now. Yes, there's room. RagnaroK can go and drop a couple additional gas and get a lair, and there's the lair on the way. So go 2-base Muta, something like that, and that seems somewhat likely, especially, well, actually, as I say that, there is no speed. Okay, there's the Roach Warren. So seems like we should see 2 additional gases get dropped fairly quickly. There's 1. There's the 2nd. And this feels like a Nidus play. All right, just attempting to punish Byun for what Byun is doing, right? This aggression, this pressure, because he knows that there's not going to be as much tech out of the factory, for example, out of the starport, because they will be delayed. And, you know, technically, this is an interesting idea. But there are already Banshees on the way. Byun is aware of this eventuality, and he's also going to see eventually just how gosh darn late this 3rd base is. So we get to see. We get to figure out what exactly RagnaroK is going to go for. And for now, it's actually not going to be a Nidus. I get baited out by this every time. I'm like, 2 bases, 3 gas, roaches, Nidus play. And then it's just RagnaroK going into something that approximates a macro game. You know, something like that. Roach speed on the way, 7 roaches. But even as I say, approximating, I don't think we can say that, because yeah, there's a 3rd base on the way, but there are no evos. There's no upgrades coming out of RagnaroK here. He's just pumping roaches. And I can't help but feel that this 3rd base is not a macro base, is not a, I'm going to mine out of this and we're going to go into the mid-game base. No, this is it's worth supply, right? It buys room in the supply cap for RagnaroK, although not as much as a command center would for Byun, for example, but it's more larva. even as I say that. RagnaroK gets it. Okay, he is droning up out of this, but I mean, it's just such a slow approach into the mid game. And now this Banshee doesn't even have cloak. It just runs across the map, gets 4 workers, and RagnaroK, I mean, it's heavy roach pressure. Roach speed's going to be done in 5 seconds, but I mean, actually, this might be the opportunity. There's no Banshee at home. There's 1 tank here, but Byun just stims. These roaches cannot take this fight, not with the medevacs here as well. Stim down the ramp, Byun. That's what you want. This just isn't working. It's just not working at all. RagnaroK, he got his natural delayed by 2 Reapers. By the way, if you remember, Heart of the Swarm, it was standard to get 2 Reapers, and you would, that's just how you played. And, you still be able to get your 3rd, and yeah, it's a little faster, and sure, things scale differently, but still. And then RagnaroK just gets a quick lair for a roach speed timing. That doesn't do anything, and now the queens are, well, they were attacking their own lair. Now that's not going to go down. They're going to click off it, but even still, Regicide here in the main, maybe. Byun is just, I mean, he's got, I guess the one thing is that, first of all, he's only on 1 eBay. And second of all, that is a nice contamination right there. So the +1 timing, not going to be quite as powerful. Not quite as powerful as you might like. So let's see what happens now. Drop on the right side. Obviously, Byun's going to struggle to find his way into the main base right now. It's just, hey, this feels weird. Or not even this feels weird. You just don't have enough to deal with it yet, all right? RagnaroK, despite everything, he's looking at 22 roaches. He's looking at, up 20-ish army supply. Cracking that open can be a little hard, as he's going to go for another Contaminate, but this time, that gets punished. Nice. I love the idea, by the way. Contaminate is such a just uncommonly used spell, but I mean, the ability to slow down your opponent's timings, especially for like Stim or +1 or one of these just really linchpin timings, is so nice for the Zerg player. Now, generally, we see it in not even going to say generally, more often than not, like the one matchup we see it in is in that ZVZ. You're trying to hit a +1, a 2-1 timing, something like that, and maybe that works out for you. But I do appreciate seeing RagnaroK go for it. Hopefully, we'll see more of that value. But now there's a Banshee in the main, and the queens are just out of position here. So Byun a little awkward. It's hold position micro on the Banshee, so he's not going to quite get what he wants. In fact, that Banshee will go down. But Byun about halfway to that +1 armor timing. He's got tanks on the way, adding in an armory, 2nd eBay here. So he's not going to be able to match the 1-1 precisely out of RagnaroK. RagnaroK's is done. Byun, he's still waiting about 20-30 seconds. But RagnaroK can't break this. And in fact, RagnaroK, he's trying to play this dark style a little bit, right? We saw the Bailey Nest go down. He's got +1 melee on the way, getting that hive, moving into Vipers, Adrenal, and Ultras are kind of the 3 main things there that you're looking for. And that it can be powerful here, but not when you're against Byun, and Byun's already ahead, so he stims on top. He gets a bunch of creep, lings go down, and he was looking for the Ravager. Couldn't quite get that one. Even still, Byun doing a decent job of curtailing the creep in the middle of the map, even as he has kind of been forced back a little bit, just by the build that RagnaroK has. RagnaroK's build, yeah, it absolutely, it mines out. Or it times out over the course of this game. 200 supply of Roach Ravager is not nearly as valuable as 200 supply of Marine Tank, or add some Marauders eventually. It's just not to the same level. Byun does have to run back with this army, because that's a lot of Roaches, that's a lot of Ravagers, so he's back. And again, he's kind of trapped on his quadrant of the map, but I like the way he's playing this. He's on 5 racks right now. We should see a 4th base go down fairly soon, I think. Because this just feels a little bit too late for this to 3 racks in and of itself, especially on 2 factory 8 racks, but he's just going to get on top of roaches once again, kiting away, killing the lings as much as he can, and this is 6 tanks in the middle of the map here. That army from RagnaroK cannot engage. Cannot join the fray. It was looking for the flank, just not going to happen. And I said this felt like we were gonna see a 4th base from Byun, but it's just gonna be an 8 racks double factory. Like, Byun is just really committing to this timing here. No 4th base on the way whatsoever. He senses blood and just wants to make sure he can burst reinforce as he takes fights. So for now, the Bio moves forward here. There's no speed on the Banes. They don't have +1. They're not useful. They just have to die to buy time for the damage from RagnaroK to happen here. But Byun is not going to allow that happen. And this tank positioning that we're looking at behind the doodads, I mean, just look at it. RagnaroK needs bailing speed. It's only just now getting started. The tanks are shelling away. This position seems so dire for RagnaroK right now. And he's going to lose the base. There is no saving the base at this point. RagnaroK tries to flank, gets one tank, gets two, but again, it's a lot of damage, and Byun buying time. Takes position on the high ground, still 5 tanks here, and he stems on down to the low ground. There's just not a lot that RagnaroK can do. He's going to have to get one big surround, one big fight to maybe find some value, but he needs bailing speed. I'm not convinced Byun is going to give him that time. His supply continues to increase. And yeah, there's a 4th base on the way now, but that's because Byun got 2 bases. I mean, Byun could go back here and he could be totally happy. I don't think he needs to. I think he just is in such a good position in this game at this point. As he understands the army has been brought together, so triple drop into the main represents some significant potential, some nice opportunities here, even as the army runs in. But now Byun, yeah, he dragged the army into the main, and that means up at the front, good luck. Now Bailey connections are going to be decent here, and well, blinding cloud on the tanks as well. They have to kite away. Byun just has so much despite this. Marauders, they have to run forward, and this is RagnaroK's opportunity. This is his attempt, and he breaks through the wall of Byun. Dropping the main base as well is just, that's forced out. So RagnaroK, it's dicey, right? He's only on 4 bases right now. He took a lot of, it is a lot of damage that RagnaroK took. But as of right now, he's been able to stabilize just a little bit. He's got Adrenal on the way, +3 armor on the way, +2 attack on the way. He's got more Vipers. And Byun did go all in off that a little bit. Yeah, 78 workers, but only 3 bases. 4th base added in at the very end. So that did slow things down just a little bit. Byun looking for this night. He's not going to get this. He would love to, but he's not going to be able to get the spawning pool. It's a good scout though. He sees the Ultra Cavern. Oh, okay. That low medevac not going to get punished all that hard. These lings will fall. It's 1-2 lings versus 2 Marines. Adrenal's not done. Yeah, that's a pretty solid position for Byun. So he's going to knock down all this creep on the left side. And by the way, Ultras are nice. Absolutely, they're a wonderful thing. But Byun he's already there. He's got the Ghost Academy done the moment. Actually, I mean, he could be starting to build them right now. Byun really should be building Ghosts at this point because roaches are still on the menu. 21 roaches still on the map. Oh, okay, that's why. The Ultra Cavern got canceled. It's now a Hydra Den. It's now going to be attempted lurkers, but I mean, it's the same. It's the same tech that stops it. You know, oh, he gets on top of 1 Viper. He's going to get a second one here. Nice blinding clouds on the bio, actually. Forced Byun to kite backwards a little bit, but all the Vipers fall down. And the tank's still able to get some juicy shots here. Byun, Marauders at the front, Marines behind, has to kite back though. RagnaroK attempting to run in. Tanks are going to siege up here, and this is just RagnaroK. He's got to find value, right? He is in such a bad tempo position, but not into the third base. That's not going to work out here. So 4 or 5 workers fall in the main, and this double drop from Byun is just so obnoxious. He's not losing it. It's behind the mineral line. There's really not enough anti-air. The Vipers were not used to parasitic bomb it down. The Vipers were used to be aggressive, to try to break Byun in some way. But Byun feels unbreakable at this point. And yes, this pressure from RagnaroK's great, but the supply tells us just such a different tale at this point. Byun's maxed out. His economy's in a great spot here. There are not enough Banes to really contest this army. And yeah, there are roaches in the natural. And yeah, Byun has to take that somewhat seriously. Bailey's actually get some really solid connections. Actually, that's a lot of supply going down, but Byun gets the hive. On these roaches in the natural, they're killing SCVs that don't matter anymore. They're killing SCVs that are over mining on 2 mineral patches. I mean, this is just not, it's not the same level of value. So that double drop got the main. Byun traded army for army realistically. And yeah, you know, for the moment, supplies are equal, but Byun's got his 5th base on the way. And this trap won't quit, man. This drop has just been worth so much everything. And RagnaroK's sitting here. He's trading worse. And Bio's going to get on top of the drones and just get a couple more. Eventually, this drop is finally trapped. Medevacs only last so long. And while they heal other units, they don't heal themselves. So the Medevacs will fall. But I mean, This death push from Byun, it really does feel painful. That being said, Ghosts will fall for the moment. They get their snipes canceled. That's not ideal. But snipes go down, Ravagers fall. Byun kind of caught behind a corner here, and the Blinding Clouds are actually really nice, shutting down both the first and the second line of tanks. Byun has to retreat to the third. But I mean, just look at the supplies at this point. RagnaroK, he abducts into things. He's trying desperately to find anything to happen here, but the snipes, they're there, they're ready. And the Hydras just can't tap everything down in time. So at this point, Byun up 30 supply. He's up 30 army supply. And the snipe won't get the Viper. Yeah, that's something. But this Viper's useless anyways. It has no energy. And Byun, total momentum, total pressure, total value. He takes game one rather convincingly. So RagnaroK had opportunities. In the first game, he found value. He fought back. Sometimes he actually, killed some of Byun's army, but that was a game of Byun. Pressure early on, 2 Reapers deny a third. He defends everything, and it doesn't work. It really doesn't work here. It was a nice attempt, but unfortunately, not nice enough. And now we have one Byun up 1, and of course, again, we see him taking the natural on location. Now, the unfortunate thing is, and in most games it doesn't really matter, but I swear Byun has the worst luck with this. Because he will go, and I swear 80% of the games we see him do this build, he spawns in a position where the add-ons are going to be right here. Right? Where the add-ons are going to be on the outside of the wall, and then it makes him somewhat vulnerable. And then in fairness, it's a bit of a bait. He does make his opponent, his opponents run across the map. They try to kill Byun. Byun drops a bunker outside of the add-ons. He kills everything, finds himself ahead, and it's a great time. Most of the time. Sometimes he does lose. No, Byun literally has a 100% win rate with the strat. Never loses. Somehow I doubt that. But for now, 2 Reapers on the way. Does Byun get a third? No, he doesn't. Okay, so it's Marine on. Well, what? Oh, okay, that's a reactor. Never mind. I was very confused. I saw the progress bar and I saw there was no worker coming at it. I'm like, wait, what? Excuse me. But no, again, Byun goes for that pressure. Only the 2 Reaper pressure, though, which is actually a pretty significant evolution considering even his greedy openers at Yanchiping before then were openers that got 3 Reapers before they stopped. But this one, natural on the way, adding in a 3rd Rax, but not a 4th just yet. So I think this is a variant of the build that Byun's doing that I have not seen before. It is, greedy enough, right? Natural's slower, but, you still get the natural. Very quick stim. Of course, the Tech Lab and Reactor, kind of the first couple things that Byun made after getting the double Reaper. But there's a 3rd rack, so it's not 4 racks, or it's not 4 rack stim pressure, which we definitely see from Byun on occasion, but it is 3. And RagnaroK, this is a much quicker speed. Right? This 3-minute speed, I believe this would mean that I want to say he went pool first. So yeah, he still does not have a 3rd base on the way. This Reaper should fall, but it's just committed pressure. Significantly committed pressure coming out of RagnaroK. And here's the problem. Byun didn't drop a bunker on the outside. He doesn't think he can make the hold happen, not against this pool first type of pressure. So Byun wants stim. There is 0 chance he defends this stim. Not with the Roaches, not with the Ravagers. In fact, what I want to see him do right now, cancel stim, drop a Tech Lab on the interior one, and go there. Yeah, he does have a Tech Lab on the interior setup. So it's going to be for concussive shells, though. And this hold is going to be predicated on Marauders just a little bit. But this bunker from Byun is so far away from the action. It's so far away from the action that it really is, until RagnaroK dives in, it's going to be a problem. But the thing is, this just doesn't defend the racks. This does not defend the production of Byun. So he's going to have to pull some SCVs. This barracks is just getting so very low. In fact, it may just... No, okay, SCVs are going to get pulled to defend this one. One barracks will fall, though. That's just going to happen. So Byun now only on the 2 racks. Concussive shells are what he's buying time for, and he will have that now, or just about. But no stim, no way to really chase here, so you got to lead with the Marauders. Targets 1. There we go. That's nice. SCVs are going to get pulled here as well, and that's a dead Marauder. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the bunker position. When Byun holds this really well, and sometimes he'll hold this masterfully, he gets a bunker outside of the base. He gets a bunker outside of the add-ons that buys him time to get whatever he's researching, and it works out. By getting the bunker in his mineral line, he gave up the 2 barracks. He gave up, well, 1 barracks died, but he gave up stim, he gave up the tech lab, he gave up the reactor, he gave up the barracks on this idea that, well, I just can't hold, so there's no point. And maybe he was right to say that. I don't know. I feel like even if you just kind of bunker right behind the barracks or something, that might buy you a little more time and force RagnaroK to have to commit a little bit more if that's going to be the case. So for now, Byun's got a 3rd base on the way. He's adding an additional barracks, so he's going to go up to 4 or 5 eventually. And this game is just approaching the mid game, but in a situation where Byun is inarguably a little behind. It's not the end of the world, certainly. He still can... Byun can absolutely find his way back into this game, but... not the best spot. And I think the big thing here is any sort of pressure that Byun wants to go for. And, by the way, his starport is very far out. The factory is now is only halfway done. So any sort of pressure on the map with stim, combat shields, whatever you want to find is just... it's about 2 minutes out, I think. Yeah. Byun was on 4 racks before he dropped the factory. At least 4 racks in production, which is just... Byun things. But the big deal here, of course, is that, well, eventually Byun will have 1-1, and that's fine. Any sort of early pressure is going to run into this absolute wall that is the single Evo chamber build that RagnaroK's gone for. He's going to have Carapace. And that means these Banelings are going to be harder to kill. That means these Lings are going to be harder to kill. Roaches, everything. Carapace is that upgrade that affects everything. And, it's a lot cheaper than getting a 2nd Evo and +1 attack as well. So, any initial pressure coming out of Byun, I don't think it's going to be all that effective. And then we're going to see 1-2 on the way. Hive is done. 2nd Evo on the way. All of that. But by saving the gas and the minerals that RagnaroK has had, first of all, his army gets to be bigger. And second of all... Baneling speed's easier to afford. He gets more Banelings. He's going to have 20 on the map. I was going to say by the time Byun gets aggressive, but actually the answer is he's going to have 20 on the map as he attempts to bust Byun right down. And again, we have a starport. We have no medevacs. They're not on the way. Byun has no way of healing this at all. He's getting... what is that? What are we waiting for? Is that he's got a reactor. Okay, so finally, Byun has the ability to heal up a little bit. Finally, he has this ability to multitask and do Byun things, and his 1-1's going to be done. So RagnaroK didn't commit, which is, I think, good news for RagnaroK. I don't think that that all-in was going to work out super well. I'm not sure, but again, defensive Byun is always scary. But now he's got all the time. He's got his 1-1 done. He's got medevacs here, stim, combat shields, and this pressure from RagnaroK's not going to work out super well. So now RagnaroK's the one that's going to have to go and maybe find a little bit more value, maybe expand another time. He's only on 4 bases right now. Get a hive, move forward, because Byun is absolutely moving forward into this game. He's got his 4th base done. He solidly defended on this position. But it seems like RagnaroK, even as he drones up a little bit, goes up to 80, he does want to find pressure here. So for now, Byun is well split. Byun literally has 2 medevacs. Well, I guess he's got 2. Where are the other 2? Actually, Byun, where are your medevacs here, bud? Okay, they're in the natural. So he's starting to increase his healing a little bit. Nah, he's not going to try to stem that down. That's fair. The one downside for RagnaroK, again, RagnaroK's upgrades are a little slow. That's certainly a thing. He went single Evo, which is, that does slow you down a little bit, or slow your tier 2 down, your tier 2 upgrades down a little bit. The other thing is that RagnaroK was only on 71-ish workers for quite a while, and his 5th base was delayed slightly, or I don't even know we want to say delayed, but he delayed it a little bit to get more army to be able to maybe pressure Byun a little bit, but that means that Byun has been able to, despite everything, is going to max out on this 2-2 timing, and this is where things get scary. Byun's 4th base is done. It's floating on over to the 4th base right now. There is no creep to deny it. There's a Ling, though. Okay. So the Ling will deny that just a little bit, but now Byun is rounding things out. He's got his 2nd factory on the way. He's moving up to... Okay, 8 racks. Never mind. He's on up to 8 racks now. I mean, he's got solid 4-base production. And RagnaroK only halfway to Hive. You know, he's moved into this Hydroling Bane idea a little bit, but it really... The Hydras aren't going to get built. This is Cyril style or someone like that where he's getting the Hydra Den, he's getting upgrades, but he's not going to build Hydras before Hive, and he's going to get them for Lurkers. So for now, here comes a big fight coming in from RagnaroK, and Byun caught a little off guard here. The Banelink connections are beautiful to start, but Byun only half his army's right here, so he's going to bring the other half to bear, and this is just, it's going to be delayed 4th. That's the big thing. The Planetary is going to get denied a little bit. It's going to have to be canceled. 4 workers go down. But for a fight where it felt like Byun was just caught sleeping there, Baneling's made some great connections. Byun actually holds on very well. So now RagnaroK, he's taking the gold. Finally started to take advantage of this army supply lead, of this map control that he has, and taking the gold is a really solid way to do it. So RagnaroK again trying to press in on the right side here. Byun has to kite away. Doesn't really have enough medevacs to save everything. He's going to save what he can, drop him on the high ground, and this is going to be a pretty nice position. Byun built an orbital at the 4th, and that's just Byun things, but I don't know that I like it this game. Not against the pressure. Baneling's into the mineral line as well. 6 workers will fall, but hey, you know what? Maybe the flip side of this is you lift the orbitals, and you lose SCVs. That's fine. You can always rebuild them. You have quad mules. That makes up for a lot. So for now, Byun's the one that wants to get aggressive. He's got 2-2. He's maxed out here. This army is freaking massive. Only 61 SCVs. He's lacking splash a little bit. Only 5 Widow Mines. And RagnaroK just has the biggest freaking surround that we've seen in quite a while here. Main, natural, 3rd, everything getting ready. Now he's going to pull the trigger. Byun, how good's your micro here, bud? For now, Marines on the right side, but everything on the left gets annihilated. Now, that's a lot of Banelings falling. Byun, though, yeah, I know he's going to target it all down. 2nd wave, though, coming on in from RagnaroK here. And with the Lings, they're going to be able to make it a little harder, but the target fire from Byun is gorgeous. I don't think it matters, though. 15 workers have gone down. Byun's economy shattered here, down to 49, and he didn't kill RagnaroK. That was a kill move. That was an attempted death move. That was an attempted guillotining of RagnaroK in this game, and it's just not going to happen at all here. Widow Mines, not enough, despite the incredible target fire that we saw from Byun, despite the micro, the pre-splits. You're fighting 2-2 Ling Bane on creep. Maxed out as well with the ability to reinforce. That is a hard fight to win without splash, and Byun just was not able to do it. And now he's not above 150 supply. He doesn't have that maxed out anymore. Only 55 workers, but he's going to get on top of this gold base, and that is going to be something. Widowmine doesn't get a lot, though, and Ling's on top of these Marauders. They're just not dying. But now the medevacs have very little energy. There's no healing for this really at all. Baneling's chasing the Marines down, and you add the Hydras on top of it. These Marauders are not nearly as powerful as they otherwise were. So Widowmines, hey, they get a couple. And that's going to be fantastic here, but now the medevacs have to be careful. And Ling counterattack as well. Byun's pressure stymied by RagnaroK. And now, we move to game 3. And here we are. It's game 3. Byun, lots of pressure, lots of power. In that first game, game 2, though, RagnaroK just turned it up a notch. Found the value, found the timing, and just did not work. So game 3 is on perhaps my favorite map on the pool. Gressfon is just gorgeous. I mean, I guess from a map design perspective, it's kind of nice, but no, it's the games. The games we get on Gressfon are just fantastic. In my opinion, I think that Gressfon gives us the best games of any map we've had in the pool in several years. I don't know that there is maybe Golden Wall. Maybe Golden Wall. But for now, Byun's doing the same thing. Barracks in the main base, or excuse me, double barracks in the natural. He's going for the pressure, but we're going to have to see what exactly he wants to go for. All right, is it 2 Reapers, you stop? Is it 3 racks timing? We saw that attempted, and it just got beaten down by RagnaroK's aggression. And by the way, this is pool first from RagnaroK once again here. He is he's attempting to build over counter what Byun's doing, right? With this early barracks opening, you get a 3-minute speed, you catch Reapers. And Byun is building 3 Reapers this time. Okay. Now, he was doing that in game 1 and he canceled it. So, just because there are 3 Reapers on the way doesn't necessarily mean they will all get built. But it seems like that's what Byun's going to go for. And that can be nice on this map. Well, no, never mind. So I think this is the decision making from Byun. And I'm not 100% confident, but my assumption here is Byun he cancels that 3rd Reaper because he knows this pool first. And if it's pool first, you don't want that 3rd Reaper because you know speed's going to be done at 3 minutes ish. You know that your opponent's going to have more army units early. They're going to have Queen's Meta defensive positions. You win by forcing that out of your opponent. Oh, KD8 chart's not going to get. No. Reaper doesn't quite find the value, but you win by existing. Don't get that 3rd Reaper. Don't give them a comeback opportunity by having you buy something, build something that is just not going to be relevant into the game. So for now, it's 2 Reapers. And this is truly a 2-on-1. Byun, he's got a starport done. Tech Lab's getting added in everywhere. And yeah, it's kind of funny, right? You look at this one. This is literally just a 2-on-1. Byun's going to have 16 Marines done at 4:35 minutes, run across the map with Stim, and we're going to have to see what happens. That's a very early +1. That's +1 Carapace started before speed is done. RagnaroK is just... He is committing so hard to just almost... I'm not going to say blind counter, but to... Not to hard counter, I guess, but to blind counter what Byun wants to do. Getting this really quick Carapace, going pool first every game. Just not giving Byun the opportunity to do what Byun wants to do. And Byun is kind of doing it anyways, because this is a 2-on-1. Sure, fine. But it's a Banshee. And I'm sorry, going pool first, getting Carapace, getting a Baneling Nest early doesn't keep you safe from a Banshee. That's Queens. And because RagnaroK is, of course, gone for this style, I mean, the Queen count's delayed. It's only 3 right now. He's going to go up to 5 in a second, which is, should be good enough. But RagnaroK's 3rd base is delayed. His Queen count's delayed. Yeah, just kind of got the positive moves here. Although I do think it's interesting that Byun committed so much to get that Overlord, he showed the Banshee for it. And, you're like, okay, well, that's not that big of a commitment. He didn't buy anything new or he didn't do whatever. But no, committing to that Banshee removes the surprise factor. It means that we can see spores go up in mineral lines. It means that Queens are more likely to be in position. It means that Byun is going to get less value with this Banshee, which, in fairness, he got one of them. It was really, there was no cloak. It was the smallest possible commitment to Banshee play that you can go for. So maybe getting a couple spores and forcing some more defensive posturing out of RagnaroK is in and of itself worthwhile. I mean, I don't think so. I think the Banshee still wants to find something. If we argue that a Banshee finds 2 Overlords and forces a couple spores and everything else, I mean, hey, that's going to be something indeed. And this army on the middle of the map here is maybe just a little bit vulnerable, does not have upgrades. No combat shields, even just Stim. The Lings are not going to go for this round. Not just yet. In fact, 6 Banelings are going to be on the way here, and Byun getting ready for the push. So, Byun now. Stim's up on the north side. Lings, plenty of them to make this hold happen. And it looks like for now, it's just going to be... Well, it's just going to be creep. It's just going to knock the tumors down. It's just going to open up this path to push later on. And Byun behind this does not have a 3rd base. Byun behind this is adding... Well, he's... Never mind. 3rd base on the way now. So, never mind. But he is adding that third rack. He is improving his production just a little bit more, as this Ling run by is not. not going to find much of anything at all. But here's the timing, right? Combat shields are done. +1 is done. I give or take, it's 5 seconds. +1 is done. So Byun actually is going to back away from this just a little bit. Going to get the rocks down. That's going to be nice, and it's going to maybe give him another attack path. But he can't hold on to this forever. There are too many Baneleys here. There are too many. That's a great KD8 charge, though, and Byun continues to micro around and trades pretty well. All things considered, still loses a decent amount. 14 Marines have died over the course of this game, and I think I expected Byun to pick up a little earlier, but I mean, what do I know? He's Byun. He is very good at this video game. So 4th and 5th barracks on the way as the 3rd base is done. +1 attack done for Byun. RagnaroK has that 1/1, so bit of an upgrade advantage for the time being as Byun now draws this forward. Baneley speed done to the perfect timing here. But the Baneleys, actually, a lot of them will go down. Byun saves the Marines, though, drops them back onto the tanks, where hopefully they're going to find a little bit more value. But that is 2-3 dead tanks. And that was not enough Baneleys falling down to make Byun really confident about his push pressure. Not yet. So he's going to play on the edges still. Almost really nice for RagnaroK. Instead, it's just about even. So RagnaroK, though, continues to play his way, to fight his way into this game. He's got his, well, I was going to say he's got 4 bases, but 4th base is only just now complete. Really not mining out of it all that much. Dropping the main to kill an Evo is going to be really nice here. Any sort of upgrade advantage that RagnaroK is attempting to cultivate is going to be a little bit slower. Now Byun targets the spawning pool down, doesn't get it. Banelings there just a little bit too powerful. And Byun, ooh, bit of a miss rally here, friend. But he's going to be able to kite out, I think, as the medevacs join the fray. Banshees as well. Tank takes damage, but you don't want to crash Banelings into a tank. So Byun, that's the Marine Split challenge, and well, we're not seeing that today. Unfortunate. Man, that's something we should bring back. Downtime content, right? Have players play the Marine Split challenge, things like that. We used to have that. I mean, there was a Pro League, actually. I think it was Pro League. Maybe it was GSTL. Had a skills competition where there's this great clip of Innovation just showing insane Marine splits. Back in like 2013. Back when Innovation was known for just his macro power, and people would complain about being dizzy when Innovation would occasionally stream. Like, the dude is he as good with his Marines as Byun is, or Mario? I don't know. But for his time, I mean, dude's micro was just, dude's everything was just incredible. So now Byun's going to siege up on the right side here. The creep, not putting pressure on a base just yet, but it is putting pressure on creep, and that will force RagnaroK to respond a little bit. So let's see what Byun's going to be able to do with this one. He's got that double drop from earlier into the main base, by the way, and that might get the spawning pool, but no, there are links here, so that's not going to do all that much. But Byun taking advantage of the opportunity. He can get on top of a lot of these Banes, but he's not going to get them yet. Not just yet. For the tanks, they siege up on the right side. We're going to see, well, just a spore going down for the time being. And RagnaroK's, I mean, he's defending this very well. The drop in the main isn't going to be able to get much done. The drop in the natural, well, he's thinking about dropping in the natural, and seems like he's not actually going to be able to do so for the time being. Baneling run by, well, that's going to be dealt with as well. And there we go. So, Byun's pressure at the 3rd. He's got a drop in the natural, but that was dealt with for the most part. So now, Byun, he's only got one angle to attack into. Everything else has been dealt with either from him or his opponent, but the Lings, they just run forward. This tank's dead. The second one's going to fall here as well, but I mean, they get a lot of really good shots. And Byun is plugging the gap with the tank, so that's going to be really nice. 7 workers have died. And Byun opens up a pretty significant supply lead, even as the drop kind of was dealt with for the most part. This random Liberator not getting all that much either, but Byun just gets so much out of that pressure on the right-hand side, and now here comes the army. 2-2's done. He actually got this time. He's got 2-2 versus the 1-1 of his Zerg opponent, and this is such a big deal. We're going to have to see how much he can take advantage of it, though. So for now, the 5th base of RagnaroK is just heavily under threat. And I think that's the big thing we have to talk about. It's 12 minutes in. The Zerg is just barely taking the 5th base. And in fairness, Byun is only on 3 bases, 4th base halfway done. Economies in general are slow, but it does mean that RagnaroK has just a little bit less to play with. Only 77 workers. This 5th base, in fact, it seems like it's just going to go down. RagnaroK thinking about pulling the trigger, but he can't just yet. Yeah, dead 5th. So 4 bases. Byun's 4th base on the way here. This drop in the 3rd is, and not gonna. It gets a couple workers, not as much. But this is the powerful move. Ideally, this is what RagnaroK wants. He's got this run by, but Byun's keeping rallies at home. He's got run bys there. They're ready. So now he's going to stim on top of the 3rd base. There's nothing to defend this. RagnaroK, he really bet the farm on that counterattack, and it's not there. Even with the 2-2 timing, it's just not good enough. So this tank will fall. It's not even. There's a tank on the low ground that I didn't see, so RagnaroK can't take any engagement that he wants. Byun's up 40 army supply. The links in the middle of the map, they have nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go. So the 4th base is on the way. RagnaroK is a 3-base Zerg against a 4-base Terran. Byun he's halfway to 3-3. RagnaroK can barely, he's scrimping together like a +1 range, so his Hydras are better. We are not the same, and they will never be the same. Not in this game, not unless RagnaroK can pull off a miracle. Really, really find some value. Take a proxy hatch, or have his banelings make these most incredible connections, or get to lurkers or something. I don't know. The win condition for RagnaroK right now is really slim. So let's see what he's going to be able to do. For now, Byun sieging up that bottom side base, and yeah, there's a Ling on the north side as RagnaroK is. Yeah, okay, this is an opportunity here. Maybe a bunch of banelings are going to try to find their way in, and Byun he lifts. He loses 10 workers, loses a bunch of Marines, but it doesn't matter because he cares about this fight at the front even more. The banelings fall. The Hydra's now getting stimmed right down, but there are more banelings. There are more workers where that came from. So Byun just targets the base. He picks up, runs away, and the medevac that falls had nothing in it. So now Byun, he gets another base. Doesn't really lose all that much. 14 SCVs in this stage of the game when you're on the mule count that Byun is. It's going to be fine, especially as you shatter the Zerg economy as you have. So RagnaroK, he's got one really last big fight. He's down 30 army supply, but this is the time he's looking for. There just aren't enough Banes. Yeah, it's not going to work out at all. Byun has to fight a little bit. RagnaroK does take game number 2, but Byun moves on. Byun moves on to face Nightmare in the winners match here of GSL Group B. And if you like this and you want more videos like this, you should make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me, what's your favorite Byun build? Right? Write in the comments what your favorite Byun build is, and I'll be sure to respond. I like the 2 racks. But also, follow me on Twitch and twitch.tv/BamWolf, and I will see you next time.